With Senator Tim Scott formally declaring his candidacy for president yesterday and Ron DeSantis set to announce his bid tomorrow, the race is taking shape. Another Republican who is considering whether to throw his own hat in the ring is Miami Mayor Francis Suarez. And Mayor Suarez joins us now from Miami. Mayor, thanks for being with us.
Oh, wonderful to be with you. Thank you for the opportunity.
So, Mr. Mayor, we learned today that your governor is going to be getting into the Republican primary tomorrow. Mr. DeSantis is going to be announcing it in a Twitter appearance with Elon Musk. I'm wondering what you think of that choice and what you think of Ron DeSantis' chances in the GOP primary.
Well, look, I think right now the front runner is the former president. I mean, he's in the sort of pole position and sort of dominating in the polls. I think there's the former president and there's everybody else. And I think the person who will be the potential nominee has to be someone that can captivate the hearts and minds of Republican voters, hopefully by giving them an option or an opportunity to look at the viability of a future with whoever that candidate is. I think that candidate should be generational, and I don't mean that as a buzzword. I mean that as someone who could provide generational opportunities for this country, for everyone to be prosperous. I think it has to be someone who has an executive record of success and has a positive vision for the future. And I think it should be someone that can broaden the party so that you don't just focus on one election, but you focus on a generation of elections. Someone that can, potentially attract Hispanics, someone that can attract young voters, and someone that can attract voters in cities. I was elected by 85% and reelected by close to 80%. And I think that's important in trying to attract new voters to the Republican Party.
Well, it sounds like you are describing yourself as that generational candidate. And you recently said that you think the 2024 race on the Republican side is going to come down to Donald Trump, Ron DeSantis, and someone else. When are you going to decide if you want to be that someone else?
Well, it has to be soon. That's one thing I know. I'm someone who has been blessed to lead the city that I was born in, to create some incredible things in our city and create some, lower taxes so that we've had the second most growth in our history, having the lowest per capita homicide rate since the 1960s, which is a problem in urban America, and being, number one in wage growth and having the lowest unemployment. So that's the kind of America that we want to live in. We don't want to live in Joe Biden's America, frankly, which is an America where the poor get poorer. Right, we live in a country right now where if you're a person of little means, what's happening is you're losing purchasing power with your dollars in your bank account, and the cost of borrowing is going up. It's getting harder to be successful, in Joe Biden's America, and I think we need a change.
Kellyanne Conway said that you'd make a great running mate for Donald Trump, but you didn't reject that idea when Margaret Brennan asked you about it on Sunday on Face the Nation, even though you didn't vote for former President Trump in either 2016 or 2020. Why didn't you vote for him?
Well, look, I think the reason why I didn't reject it is because, anytime that someone's talking about you as a presidential candidate or a vice presidential candidate, having grown up in this country, being the son of two Cuban exiles, it's an incredible honor to be discussed in those terms. I mean, it's something that I would have never thought, having grown up, been born and raised in Miami, being the first Miami-born mayor in its history. I honestly never thought that I'd actually be talking about running for president. I think one of the great things about this country, frankly, is the fact that it constantly surprises people in presidential elections. We didn't potentially think that we were going to have the first African-American president until Barack Obama was elected. And we probably didn't think that we were going to have, a president that was not in politics, that was sort of a reality TV show personality and a real estate developer, and the first non-politician, non-military person in decades become the president. So America has done some incredible things. When President Clinton was elected, you had President Bush with a 90% approval rating coming out of the Iraq War, and a relatively unknown governor of Arkansas won the presidency. So America is incredibly dynamic. It knows what it wants, and it understands that it needs someone to meet the moment.
Well, we'll be watching to see what you decide. Miami Mayor Francis Suarez, thank you.
Thank you.